Welcome to Green Shift. I am M Ramesh. In an earlier video, we saw how the rooftop solar segment in India is taking off very well after having remained listless for a number of years. The link to the video is given in the description below. In this video, we will take a close look at the ultra low levels the solar module prices have declined and the implications of that decline on the Indian solar industry. We will essentially be addressing the following questions. Please do watch this video. A good high quality Chinese solar module you can buy today of Trina Solar, JA Solar at about 14 cents or 15 cents, which is a record low level. Never in history have we seen this level of solar module prices. Why have the module prices declined? Obviously, because there is a glut in the market, there is oversupply. There are a number of reasons why is there an oversupply. One, China, because of its enthusiasm to capture the world market, over the years has built up huge manufacturing capacity, about something like 400 to 450 gigawatts of solar modules it can produce and sell. For a long time, this was going on well. But now, its major market, that is the US, is sort of refusing to buy from China. The Chinese domestic market itself is kind of dull. So the Chinese manufacturers with a huge production capacity have ended up with modules which they have to sell somewhere, and they are therefore dropping prices, little less than what they were in the pre-COVID times. When the Indian solar story started around the year 2010, 2011, it was about $1 a watt. And then it started declining, came to 60 and then 50 and then 40, 30 and kept on declining. Each time the prices would decline a notch, people would say, this is it. It won't decline any further. But then the Chinese have surprised us by dropping prices further. We can never tell. Prices may drop further. However, some of the Chinese manufacturers that I spoke to, like Trina Solar, are saying that the raw material cost profile being what it is, there is very little scope for further reduction in solar module prices from this level. There is another angle to it. What also impacts the prices is the Chinese yuan has been declining against the dollar because the Chinese economy itself is not doing well. And if the yuan declines further, it might just give the Chinese manufacturers a little more room to drop prices further down. So the answer to the second question, well, it doesn't look likely, but you cannot rule it out. It is good news. Modules account for about 70-80% of the total cost of a solar plant, and they are able to get it at such cheap prices. But there are other implications, as we will see now. There is a 40% basic customs duty, or BCD, on imported modules. If you want to buy cells from abroad and then stitch them together to make modules, you will pay 25% duty on the imported cells. So if you take a 40% BCD, the cost to a solar developer here will be about 21, 22, 23 cents, which is a very good price still. However, it need not have been that much. This 40% basic customs duty was brought in. The government, with a view to encouraging this industry, wanted to give two kinds of benefit supports to the solar manufacturing industry. On the one hand, give them a basic customs duty protection, and on the other, give them a production-linked incentives. Now, if you look at it, the basic customs duty is offering no protection. It has become completely irrelevant because even with the customs duty charge, the imported modules are cheaper than Indian modules. Not by much, but they are cheaper. So imports from China are not stopping anyway. So what is now, therefore, the purpose of this BCD? On the flip side of it, it is increasing the cost of solar energy. Today, if you look at the renewable energy industry, you look at all the tenders that are coming out. Earlier, it used to be mostly standalone solar energy tenders. That is, you put up a plant, you tell me what prices you will supply solar energy at. I will give the contract to the person who quotes the least tariff. That is now going. Today, standalone prices are settling down somewhere around 2 rupees 60 paise, 2 rupees 70 paise a kilowatt hour. But the market is itself veering towards round-the-clock supply or peak time supply of renewable energy. For RTC, that is round-the-clock, and for peak time supply, you need to bring in storage. Most people do a hybridization of wind and solar and also bring in storage. So the moment you bring in storage, what happens is the prices go up. And the prices of these, the tariffs that are quoting, that we are seeing in the market, are somewhere around 4 rupees 50 paise, 4 rupees 70 paise, in any case below 5 rupees, which is a very good price for stored electricity. This low solar module prices are in a way somewhat compensating for the additional costs that arise out of storage. If it were not for this 40% basic customs duty, the sector itself would have benefited even more. So if you look at it, this 40% customs duty is not, on the one hand, giving any protection to the domestic manufacturers. On the other hand, it is increasing the cost for developers. Who is gaining in the middle? Maybe the government, because it gets some revenue. But then it is very wrong economic policy to look at any revenue from customs duty as a source of income generation for the government. It's very wrong. And I don't think the government even intended it that way. But ultimately, it is only the government that is gaining. And therefore, who is paying? We as people are paying, because we could have benefited otherwise from even lower solar tariffs. Maybe the government is taking BCD money and giving it off to the manufacturers as PLI. Now look at the manufacturers. They are doubly benefited. On the one hand, they have this PLI, the money that the government will give them when they meet certain conditions and certain criteria of sales, they will get PLI. On the other hand, they are all selling into the US market. It's a very peculiar, funny situation. Usually, the solar module suppliers and the solar developers are kind of opposites. One benefits at the cost of the other. In today's funny situation, both are happy. The developers are happy because they are getting low-cost modules. The solar manufacturers are happy because they are getting a good tariff, good price for their modules in the US and other Western markets. As I said earlier, the US has not been buying from the Chinese market. The Chinese, having sort of vacated the US market, has given room for the Indian manufacturers to sell to the US and other Western countries. So they are making good money there. They are also pocketing the PLI here. Nobody grudges them making money. That is fine. If Indian manufacturers create economic value addition here and they get good money, we are all happy. But unfortunately here, there is this little thing called basic customs duty, which has fallen completely irrelevant. It is not helping anybody but the government. Perhaps there is a little need to now take a relook at the whole policy, tweak it a little bit to bring it in sync with the times. Thank you.